Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to WWE 2K16. And we have our work cut out for us today, guys, on Monday Night Raw. We've got to take on the Icon Sting, who we beat at WrestleMania. However, the Authority wants us to win by submission, and we have been falling out of favor with the Authority by quite a bit, so I'm actually going to try to do a submission victory against the Stinger. And I hate that submission system. You know, I've been saying that ad nauseum. The submission system is booty, as the New Day would say, or bollocks, as I and Bad News Barrett would say. But we're going to give it a shot. We still don't know who our mystery rival is. I thought it was going to be Ziggler when they had that scene in the last episode where he came out and wanted the title, but it doesn't look like our rival's been revealed as of yet. So let's go ahead and take on Sting. I like these matches every so often because otherwise I'd just be fighting the same people in the IC division over and over, and that would get tiresome really quick. Every so often having a legend or a big match like this is a good thing. And man, I still cannot get over that he only has three reversals. This is like a multiple-time world champion. He's had matches with Ric Flair and Harley Race. I think he's had matches with Harley Race. And I figure he would have more reversals after fighting so many, you know, technical-based wrestlers. Maybe they're taking age into account. Who knows? Not a whole lot of wrestling news on the Turnpike. By the way, I am very, very pleased with the response I've gotten for Marcus's new ring gear. A lot of people seem to have liked it. And nice lariat. And I'm also going to let you know, probably by the Battleground pay-per-view, which should be the end of this game week, I am probably going to change up Marcus's moveset a little bit more. Just kind of throw some new pain giving into it. I think that'll be a good change of pace as well. He's starting to evolve as he continues his career. The only real wrestling news that I have heard of that has interested me, people are still recovering from Shane taking on Undertaker in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, and how it's so good to see Shane. A lot of people are just like, oh, he was a breath of fresh air. And also the kind of interesting Attitude Era throwback that Monday Night Raw was. Apparently that's going to work for them because apparently the content of the shows are going to get a little bit edgier heading into Mania season. I think Vince has kind of, well, I'm not going to say what Vince probably feels, but I think people are getting into his ear that this super kind of PG stuff that they've been doing is just not working, and they need to have a nice balance of the family-friendly stuff along with the more risque stuff. And I'm not saying like bra and panty matches or anything like that, but this is a violent sport. It's supposed to be. So having stuff like Triple H beat the crap out of Roman, like he did, every so often, that's warranted. That's a good thing. But speaking of Undertaker, the wrestling news that I've heard in the last few days that has really interested me is I used to be a really big fan of the show, Gorilla Press Slam. Just like his former partner, Blade Runner Rock, aka the Ultimate Warrior. But we are beating the stuffing out of Sting. He's still going to get out of that submission hold because that's what he does. Nice knee clip. But I was a big fan of the show Pawn Stars when it first came out. I liked the premise of it. I thought the premise of it was kind of cool. Now, later as it kind of degraded into typical reality TV, I lost all interest in it. But one of the... Oh, hello there, Mr. Comeback. Let's get out of your way. I have seen this happen to Vader and Sid and Triple H and Ric Flair, and it is not going to happen to the Superstar Prince. We're just going to take a nice powder out here until you get that out of your system. But they'd been advertised. Oh, face crusher. Marcus almost got out of there unscathed. There's a royal shot for your trouble. It's like get into the ring. They'd been advertising that Sunny, Tammy Sitch, who has been going through some very interesting milestones in her life lately, was selling her Hall of Fame ring, which, if you paid attention to anything, you know what? Oh, he reversed it. I was going for the Scorpion death drop, and Stinger was having none of it. But if you know anything about what Sunny's been doing, she's came out with a sex tape and all this kind of random stuff, just because she's been having money trouble. She's been in the hospital for a bit. There's a Scorpion death drop, and his head is red. We can go ahead and try for a submission now, I think. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, he reversed it. I used all of his reversals, though. She's been in the hospital for, like, something to do with her pancreas, I think. So the fact that she would sell her Hall of Fame ring, especially after they kind of pushed the Hall of Fame ring as a selling point to her porno. She was trying to sell the ring on eBay, and that's apparently what led to this. Or it was a work. She was working the crowd. Apparently the video had already been shot when she put the ring on eBay, and then the CEO of Vivid Entertainment like offered her money for it or to do a video or such. But regardless, when they said that the ring was going to be on Pawn Stars, she goes on social media and she's just like, "No, I'm not selling the ring. I never had any intention of selling the ring." And a lot of people thought, well, this is just Tammy Sitch being Tammy Sitch and lying and working the crowd or working the Twitter crowd or any of this kind of garbage. And even on cable TV systems, when they would describe the show, it would mention Sunny's name, that it was Sunny's ring. And she was getting pretty furious about it. And sure enough, they went on... okay, let's go... Oh, I don't have the... Okay, L2 to boost, and of course he kicks out of it. Let's go. Oh, crap. But the ring actually was not Tammy's. It was Paul Bearer's, which, quite frankly, shocked me when I read it. Like, I've heard some stuff regarding Paul Bearer's sons, and they did the Hall of Fame speech and all that when Paul Bearer was inducted posthumously. And I knew that one of them was kind of dabbled into independent wrestling a little bit, but I didn't know that things were that bad in the family that they were trying to sell. It was a friend of the family, apparently, was trying to sell the ring. And I don't know if it's... I haven't watched the episode, so I don't know if he was trying to sell the ring on behalf of the family or what, but it was a pretty sobering thing to hear, honestly. Now, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give Stinger. Oh, I already stole a finisher. Whoops. I was gonna go for the Scorpion Deathlock, but a DDT will have to do. But Rick, the guy from Pawn Stars, he pretty much decided that he was not going to buy the ring. I think they were offering like $800 for it or something to that effect. And of course that's not going to work. Oi! You know, I can tell what's going to happen here. I'm going to try and make Sting tap out. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then he's going to put me in one submission hold, and I'm gonna tap out. I bet you that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep on trying to put you in this thing. You are going to tap, Stinger. But what I see happening is, see, the R2 isn't wanting to do any kind of boost or anything. So I'm just gonna spam. See, this is a good system for 2 players. Against the computer, it's crap. And I think a lot of people are really agreeing with that. Oh wow, the tombstone is his trademark? Thank you, Lana. Appreciate that help. You know, the Authority can just get over it. I'm not gonna deal with this submission system.
One of these guys is going to walk away with the win here tonight. I just can't.
And he could have hit me with the... Oh, here comes the death drop. Can we reverse it? Nope. Well, tit for tat there. Now the question is, can I kick out of the death drop? That's the... Thank you, Lana. Talking trash, breaking up the ref's count. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and put Sting away. We'll go ahead and use some heelish shenanigans, I'm thinking. Well, provided that Sting will let me. I thought Sting was going for the chair. But one thing that I can assume is going to happen is this. When he finds out that Taker's ring is basically for sale and that his family is trying to sell it, I will bet you money that Mark Calloway, the find some way to acquire that ring. Oh, hey Seth. You're still world champion though, aren't you? And you've been my fanboy for quite some time. Well, I got to see if he's world champion. If he wants to ultimately both the IC and the world title, I'm afraid that Seth and I are going to have an issue. But I think that once Mark finds that out, okay, he's not my friend anymore, apparently. Oh, he's going for the banned move. He couldn't use this move on TV anymore. But anyway, I guess Seth is going to be my rival. That's interesting. At least I'll have a claim for the world championship if he still has the belt around his waist. But one thing, well, let's see. We'll probably have an interview segment with Renee. Once he finds out that it's available, Taker's probably going to buy the ring, and he's probably not going to hand it back to Bearer's family. He'll probably keep it himself because Taker and Paul Bearer were such good friends. It was one of the few times that you saw any kind of emotion come from Taker when he was doing the immemorial service to him and all that kind of stuff.
How do you feel about Seth Rollins?
Oh, great. It's a triple threat. Yeah, I deserve better treatment than this.
I deserve better treatment than this. Seth Rollins is nothing more than an opportunistic punk.
But Ziggler and Rollins and Marcus is going to make for a really good triple threat, I think. But I see him putting it in his office or putting it in a safe place or maybe donating it to the actual WWE Hall of Fame building that they were thinking about doing. There's a lot of things that Mark could do with it, but I would not see him handing it back to Paul Bearer's family if Paul Bearer's family sold that ring for money. And it's just, heck, maybe Taker might actually help out Paul Bearer's family. You can never tell. But it was a shame to see it trying to be pawned off. It just put a bad taste in my mouth, if that wasn't blatantly obvious. Okay, well, that was a disaster. Let's see what we have to do on SmackDown. Oh, holy crap. Okay. Win your match with green leg health. Now, that I can do. Batista is not known for his leg submissions. Now, let's look over here at the rankings here real quick. Yeah, Seth wants a piece. That is not good. Now, the question that I have is if Seth wins the IC title in the triple threat, will that mean that he moves down to the Intercontinental Championship and someone else wins the world title? Because I found out that if we drop the IC, if we go into the World Heavyweight Championship, we drop the IC title, which is something I hope they fix maybe in next year's edition. But I don't know. I guess we will see. Actually, is Ziggler? Yeah, Ziggler's number 5 in the rankings. Goldust is still number 1 contender, right above Shamo. So that is interesting. And it's a full match against Drax the Destroyer. And we haven't had a match with Batista, I don't think. So this will be interesting. Batista is one of those guys that me and my friend Drake, we don't like the John Cena character. John Cena the guy, lovely guy. Not a fan of John Cena the character, how he's pushed or anything like that. I always told him, out of the two, when they came to Vince's kind of muscle jockeys, I liked Batista infinitely more. I thought Batista was the better big guy. I thought he was a better storyteller. I don't think his promos weren't all comedy. When Batista needed to be upset about something, he was upset about something. There have been a lot of times I was infuriated when Cena would lose a match or something, and then he'd come out all smiles and, you know, oh, I got beat this time, Jack, and all that kind of garbage. I thought Batista was a much better character. And I think he was a really, when he was Hollywood Batista, when he was like the give me my spotlight stuff, I thought he was an amazing heel. I never understood when Batista came back at the Rumble during the whole Daniel Bryan thing. That was probably something that's going to be talked about for years to come. And I think one of the things they could have done to completely fix it, and it was really, really simple. They should have made as sure as they could that Batista going back to the WWE wouldn't have been leaked, and they could have just had him come out as a complete surprise, and the crowd would have went ballistic. The fact that that they were announcing it and making a big deal of it, people were like, oh, Batista's going to win the Rumble. And then the fans had already turned against it because everyone was, you know, Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. If Batista had come out just suddenly, the crowd would have ate it up, and chances are good he needed to come back as a heel. He's Triple H's friend and all this. It would have made a whole lot more sense to have him come back as a heel and take on Bryan. I think it would have been like maybe at the next pay-per-view after that. I think he did. Actually, he lost to Daniel Bryan quite a few times. Oh, this is bad for him. Let's give him the good old-fashioned Kurt Hennig neck flip. Haven't seen that in a while. I think it's a shame what happened to him. I understand that the Daniel Bryan train was moving and that there was nothing going to stop it. I just hate the fact that Batista was tied to the tracks. There was a lot they could have done with it. And then they did the Evolution reunion where they would continually get stomped by the Shield. And I never really understood that either. But it's okay. I think we're definitely going to end this match with some green leg health. We got our signature already good to go. And I don't know. I guess we could try. Let's try Heart Punch DDT Dirty Pin. Oh, I didn't even get a chance to reverse. Batista hugs are worst hugs. But Batista, another guy like Cena, lovely guy. His book apparently is top notch. He's very blunt and very honest. about things, which I like. In his book, they pretty much told him that he shouldn't mention Chris Benoit. This was after the Benoit tragedy, obviously. And he was like, no, Benoit was a significant part of my life, and I'm going to talk about it. If you don't like it, well, too bad. All right, dirty pin, heelish shenanigans. There we go. That still makes Batista. It doesn't diminish him because he got hit with the heart punch, the DDT, and my legs are on the ropes. 3-star match. That's about as expected. And red leg health, or excuse me, non-red leg health. So the Authority is a little bit happier with me. Get a little bit more XP too. Basically, I'll show you guys here real quick before we end the episode today what I've been doing in terms of leveling. And it's really helped out because it's been a very well-balanced kind of transition. I don't think I'm lacking in anything. So we'll skip through all of Triple H against Sheamus. Of course Trips is going to win that. Ugh, that is going to be a nasty match. What does the Authority want us to do? Win your match with red body health. Chances are good that's probably going to happen. But going here into attributes, as you can see, I've got about 4,500 XP. What I've been doing is I've just been going down the line here, looking for the lowest value, and just pumping that up. And I just do it in increments of 5. So right now, Pin Escape is the lowest, so I make that go up to 70. And then I look for the next lowest one, which I think will be Reversal, and then I'll max that out at 100. And that's at 398. Yep, and that's basically what I've been doing. So I've been getting better at all the stuff that I'm weakest at, and it's just been this gradual move up in terms of XP values. So I think that's probably one of the best ways to go about leveling, in my opinion, because you're not kind of overcompensating in like your reversals or anything. So you actually have to learn how to do some of this stuff instead of just pumping it up with XP so it's easier for you. So, in the next episode, we will go to the Battleground against Dolph and Seth Rollins with the IC title on the line, and we will see what happens. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.